bit, just for, hey, are you ready? We need Stevie's Avisa over here, don't we? Facebookers, we're doing my little bit of baby stress test.
Yes, sir.
Hey, is Stevie over there?
No, Stevie left.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
One of my proteges is gone, but I got Cousin Charlie in here. His new name is Cousin Charlie, correct?
That's correct.
So he comes in here and he does exactly what's asked. How many people on here are in sales where they're calling people and they don't know what to say? They're just calling. How would you have called people before you were trained?
It would have been more as a friendly conversation. Been happy to say, call me if I can help you.
Okay, that's really what we try. Until you get trained, you're calling up and trying to be their buddy. And then you throw out, well, call me if you need me. Well, let me know if I can do anything for you. Do you mind if I follow up? So what you've got to do is you've got to take control of the conversation. You cannot control the person, but you can control the phone call. So what we're training Charlie to do is Charlie, how many phone calls have you made? Since you've been, now Charlie is not full-time yet, but he's going through the training program. So the reason why if you want to know why is this goofy Good Time Tommy putting this content out, what I'm doing is this helps me get better at what I'm teaching, but what I want people to see is how we train people here. And Charlie is on his way here, and I'm implementing this new training strategy where Charlie is going to become the best salesperson in real estate. That's my prediction, because every day we're going to do this. Every day we're going to talk about this. Every day we're going to get closer to perfecting it. So I've got Charlie scripted. He knows exactly what he's going to say in every phone call. He can do this without thinking. How many times have you done your introduction?
About 500.
About 500 times. You're just sitting there and you're saying this. So the reason why I do this is because this is when things get stressful. This is when the tension rises, when people are watching. This helps calm your nerves, though, when you're in there by himself. I can hear him making phone calls. Whenever I'm around him and I bring this camera in there, hey, James Nellis, whenever I bring this camera in there, he gets real tense. He starts tensing up, and he don't know what to say because he's watching me watch him, and he's also trying to talk to that person. Well, what you've got to do is you've really got to slow down. You've got to be able to slow down to start controlling these conversations. We can't control the person, but we can control the conversation. So Charlie calls up. He knows exactly what he's going to say every time. So we're going to get this. He says he's probably done it 500 times. How many times have you done it live with somebody on the other line? Maybe 100?
100, 150.
And how long is it taking you to get? So when I'm hearing you do this, you're getting a lot more comfortable. Do you even have to think about what you're saying, or is it getting to the point? You'll get to the point to where you can just say this without even thinking.
It's becoming more natural.
He's practicing it all day. He said he's driving around in his van, and he's saying it over and over and over. Hey, in his minivan, might I add. Go ahead and unbutton that top button. Hey, his name is Cousin Charlie now. Sorry, I'm a little tight over here. So we take an approach where he's calling, he's introducing himself, and then he's dropping their guard, because whenever you're making these phone calls, you've got to make them comfortable. They don't know who the hell Cousin Charlie is. That's what I want him to say, though. This is Cousin Charlie, like you should know who I am. Maybe they think it's their cousin. Hey, this is Cousin Charlie over here at John Jones Real Estate. I'm sure you weren't expecting my call. Then he's going to go into the purpose of the call. So for so long, I was a relationship builder. I don't know if any of you guys out there have ever read a book called The Challenger Sale, but they break down the 5 types of salespeople, from the relationship builder, classic relationship builder, to a hard worker, to a lone wolf, to the challenger, and there was something else. Is Cousin Charlie his brand? Yes, he is going to become branded as Cousin Charlie. We are Hillbilly Realty over here. Cousin Charlie. Hey, Mama, thank you for getting on here. So, where were we? My mama's on here. Got me distracted. But see, whenever you get distracted, you got to calm your mind down. Whenever you're stressed, whenever you're thinking fast, when you talk fast, you think fast. Or, I'm sorry, you start rushing. And it's hard for your mind to be in control. Is that funny, Mama? So, hey, slow down. the problem solver. Hey, thank you, Tom Love. So that's what we were talking about, the challenger sale and the different types. So what most people like myself did for so long, probably 10 years, maybe 11 years before I ever read that book, is I would get on there and I was trying to become their buddy. I wanted them to like me, and then I didn't have any value to give them. I had no way to lead the conversation. If they said something that stumped me, which was very easy, the call was over. Once they put the stop sign up and you can't overcome that objection, you've lost all your momentum, unless you can come up with something to say. So, hey, that was just a little quick tidbit that we like to get on here every day. Me and Charlie are going through our little stress test where we're getting in stressful situations. This is how you get better. So, Charlie, is there anything that you've learned in the last 30 days that we can share?
3 things: listen, acknowledge, isolate.
We were hammering that out, where you got to listen, acknowledge, and isolate. It is so hard. Like, there was somebody in the office today, they messed up a little bit, and they were so scared that they were going to tell, they couldn't tell the client that they messed up. The client already knows you messed up. The only thing you need to do is show them that you messed up. It's okay to say that you messed up because they know you messed up. And if you don't acknowledge that you messed up, they're probably going to lose trust in you. They're going to lose confidence in you. So that's all I've got today. Thank you, everybody, for getting on here. Me and Cousin Charlie will probably be back at it tomorrow. You come back in tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow.
How many calls have you made today?
28.
28 phone calls? Charlie has been relentless. Is that a phone call?
That's a phone call.
Do you think it's a potential lead? I hear him over there, man. It's been a beautiful thing to watch him come in here. I'll say this about Charlie. He told me nobody's going to outwork him, so I'm challenging, I'm pushing him to do that. I'm putting him in uncomfortable situations. When he first started doing this, he was very uncomfortable with getting on the phone, especially if I walked in there with a camera. But I'm hearing him getting better. And I heard him make some phone calls yesterday where he sounded so cool, so calm, so collected. He had all the poise of a pro. All we're focusing on right now is his introduction. He's calling internet leads, and the probability of closing or moving into a relationship with these people, it's roughly about 3 to 4, 5% if you're really good, and that takes time to get there. But Charlie, as Coach Burt says, having something to say is just as important to have somebody to say it to. So when you get a chance to talk to these people, if you can't lead the conversation, if you're afraid to probe, if you're afraid to dig in, you're not going to really move the ball down the field with these people. So they can nice guy you. They can tell you thanks for calling. Please follow up. But if you don't have any significant movement or an appointment, the chances of them answering that same phone number, the probability is going to continue to go. Was that a potential lead?
Was not.
Was it not?
It's about Creek Bend.
Oh, okay.
Hottest subdivision.
All right. That is the hottest subdivision. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're wondering what I'm doing, we're just forcing ourselves to become more scripted, because I believe having something to say it's the most important thing that we do in our job. You got to learn how to control conversations. Then you've got to have the confidence to dig, to pry, to ask questions, even when they're trying to push you away. Maybe it does sound a little pushy, but that's what you've got to develop. You got to get good at being uncomfortable if you want to be a top sales guy or girl. Thanks for tuning in, guys.